Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, you're diving into Jujutsu Odyssey and looking to get the upper hand in your fights, right? Well, you know the drill. It's not just about picking the right weapon or joining a strong clan. A solid curse technique can really make or break your fighting style. But with so many curse techniques out there, it's easy to get lost in the chaos. Some are incredibly strong, while others might just leave you scratching your head wondering, is this even worth it? Don't worry, we've got your back with this tier list. We're going to break down which curse techniques are the best and which ones might need a little more work. Now, you've probably heard a lot about how some techniques are better than others, but how do you know which ones are truly worth your time? We'll go over the ones that give you that extra edge, helping you dominate in battle, and the ones that, well, might not be the best fit for your strategy. Whether you're aiming to crush your enemies with sheer power or looking to finesse your way to victory, this list is going to help you figure out which curse techniques will give you that extra oomph. Stick around, we're diving into the good, the bad, and the downright awesome techniques you need to be using in Jujutsu Odyssey. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking cursed techniques in Jujutsu Odyssey. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos. Thanks.
The cursed techniques in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, soul guitar and cloning. Alright, let's talk about some of the cursed techniques in Jujutsu Odyssey that are sitting in the B tier. Now, I know B tier isn't the worst, but it's also not top tier either, so let's dive into what makes these techniques decent but not quite the best, starting with something pretty unique, the soul guitar. Yes, you heard that right, a guitar that lets you deal cursed damage. Sounds cool in theory, right? But in practice, it's, well, a little limited. The soul guitar has one main move, Resonant Shred, which unleashes a powerful strum of cursed energy. It's a shockwave that damages and staggers enemies, which is pretty nice in a pinch, but let's be real, it's not going to carry you through the hardest fights. You'll need to build up energy first, so you're basically spending time waiting for the right moment to unleash that shockwave. It's fun to use but feels a bit underwhelming when compared to other techniques that can do more in less time. Now, Power Riff is where things get a bit more interesting. This move allows you to channel cursed energy through your guitar riffs, which builds up energy for an even bigger resonant shred. The idea of unleashing a supercharged shockwave sounds great, but you've got to make sure you've got the right timing and mastery for it to be worth it. At mastery level 28, you're definitely looking at a high skill ceiling here, but again, while it's fun, it doesn't really match the sheer power of some other techniques out there. Next up, we've got cloning. Now, this one's a lot more versatile, especially for those just starting out. The concept here is simple. You make a clone of yourself, and it fights for you. In the early game, this is super useful. You're not alone in battle, and your clone can handle some of the heavy lifting. It's perfect for those times when you're still leveling up, and you don't have access to more advanced curse techniques. But here's where cloning starts to really shine. Once you hit mastery level 20, you unlock Clone 2. This lets you create 2 clones instead of just 1, making it even more of a game changer. More clones mean more distractions, more damage, and just overall more chaos on the battlefield. It's pretty cool how you can overwhelm your enemies with yourself, literally. And for those of you who like to go big or go home, cloning's Blaze of Glory move is where it gets wild. At mastery level 35, all your active clones can focus their cursed energy into a self-destruct move. That's right, your clones don't just fight, they go out with a bang. It's super useful for taking down tough enemies, especially if you need a bit of extra damage at a crucial moment. So yeah, cloning is definitely a solid B tier technique, especially if you're looking for something reliable and versatile. It might not be flashy, but it gets the job done. The cursed techniques in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Boogie Woogie and Cursed Speech. Alright, let's talk about 2 cursed techniques in Jujutsu Odyssey that are deceptively powerful once you get the hang of them. You might look at them at first and think, nah, this isn't gonna do much for me. But trust me, once you understand their mechanics, they can completely turn the tide of battle, especially in PvP. First up, we've got Boogie Woogie. I know, the name sounds a bit funky, but don't let that fool you. This technique is all about positioning. The core of Boogie Woogie revolves around swapping places with someone, whether it's you and an enemy, 2 enemies, or even an ally. It sounds simple, but if you master it, it becomes a game changer. Imagine being able to teleport right behind your opponent and deliver a devastating blow, or turning the tables by switching spots with an ally in the middle of a fight. Talk about some mind games. Boogie Woogie's basic move, Clap, is your bread and butter. You just clap and instantly swap positions with anyone within range, but it doesn't stop there. There are upgrades. Take Clap 2, for example. It increases your range, giving you more flexibility in your moves. Now, if you want to mix it up, teleporting Stone Strike allows you to throw a rock at an enemy, and once it hits, you instantly teleport to them and deliver a powerful drop kick. And don't even get me started on Deceptive Suplex, Feign to Clap, and if an enemy attacks, you teleport behind them and slam them with a suplex. It's like you're controlling the flow of the entire fight. Now, let's talk about Cursed Speech, which might not seem as flashy as Boogie Woogie, but it has its own charm and can be really effective in the right hands. If you enjoy playing mind games with your enemies, this technique is perfect for you. With Cursed Speech, your voice becomes a weapon. You can freeze your opponent in place, crush them with the sheer power of your voice, or even make them explode in flames. It's like being a vocal powerhouse who doesn't need to swing a single punch to deal damage. One of my favorite moves from Cursed Speech is Get Crushed, where you crush your opponent with a powerful blast of cursed energy. But here's the kicker. You can hold down the ability to make it last longer, so you're not just getting a quick shot in, you can make it drag on and keep your opponent stuck in that crushing force. Plus, Cough Syrup is a nice defensive tool. It makes you immune to any damage from your own Cursed Speech skills for a few uses, and with Resistance, you'll take no damage at all from using your Cursed Speech abilities, which is huge when you're up against tough opponents. Both of these techniques are a blast, pun intended, but it's all about learning how to use them effectively. Boogie Woogie is all about positioning and outsmarting your enemies with quick swaps, while Cursed Speech lets you control the battlefield with your words. So, if you're looking for some fun ways to dominate in Jujutsu Odyssey, these cursed techniques are definitely worth checking out. The cursed techniques in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Shrine Sukuna Vessel, Limitless, and Disaster Flames. Alright, buckle up, because today we're diving into some of the absolute powerhouses in Jujutsu Odyssey, the S tier cursed techniques. These techniques are not just about throwing a punch or swinging a sword, they're about unleashing chaos in every sense of the word. If you're looking to dominate PvP or just wreck some enemies in style, these are the moves you want in your arsenal. First up, we've got the Shrine Sukuna Vessel, and oh boy, this is a beast. Imagine a cursed technique that's perfect for up close and personal combat, slashing and stabbing with precision. And if you think that's cool, just wait until you awaken it. Your damage output skyrockets, turning you into an unstoppable force. Some of the standout moves here? Dismantle is a classic, dealing devastating slashes, while Reaper's Retreat lets you dash back with a forward-moving slash that clears anything in its path. There's also the brutal Demon's Wrath, which slams enemies down before tossing them like ragdolls. The best part? Domain Expansion, Malevolent Shrine, a domain that guarantees you a perfect strike every time, no escapes allowed. Moving on to the next juggernaut, we've got Limitless, and trust me, this one is all about controlling the battlefield. It's got the power to pull enemies in, disappear, and turn you into a literal walking bomb. Lapse Blue is a force of attraction, drawing everything and everyone to a singular point, crushing them in the process. Then there's Infinity, an impenetrable barrier that lets you take no damage, and if that's not enough, Maximum Output. Blue just makes that pull stronger, creating a massive destructive implosion. For those teleporting lovers, I understand it. Now let's you zip behind your target and smack them with a supercharged reversal red, so satisfying. And when you hit the big leagues with imaginary technique, purple and hollow purple, you're erasing everything in your way. Let's talk fire, because Disaster Flames is straight up a fiery apocalypse. If you've ever dreamed of becoming a human volcano, this technique's for you. From Volcanic Eruption, which blasts enemies sky high, to Hellfire Beam, where you unleash a focused beam of molten fire, every move feels like it's turning the world into a blaze. But wait, Molten Rainfall is next, letting you leap and drop flames that create a literal lava pool. There's also the devastating Infernal Grasp, summoning a giant fire hand to crush your enemies. And when you hit Hellfire Incarnate in Awakening, you're on fire, literally. A 65% boost to cursed energy, and any enemy who hits you gets a taste of burn damage. But nothing beats maximum technique. Meteor, launching a giant meteor to wreak havoc on the entire battlefield. Each of these cursed techniques has something special to offer. Whether it's slicing through enemies with precision, manipulating the battlefield to your advantage, or engulfing everything in fire, they're all about overwhelming power. The S tier techniques aren't just about brute force, they're about making every move count, controlling your opponents, and leaving a trail of destruction in your wake. But what really makes these techniques so special is how they allow you to adapt. They're not just press X for big damage, they let you think on your feet, making strategic choices based on the battlefield. Want to pull enemies in for a crushing blow? Go for Limitless. Need to burn everything to the ground? Disaster Flames is your go-to. The versatility, the sheer power, it's all in your hands. And let's not forget about the ultimate power-up, Awakening. When you trigger it, it's like flipping a switch, boosting your damage, cursed energy, and giving you access to some truly wild abilities. It's the cherry on top of an already deadly sundae. The Shrine Sukuna vessel gets even more terrifying, while Limitless and Disaster Flames become even more overpowered. So, if you're ready to truly feel the weight of your cursed technique, these S-tier powers are here to make sure you're the one to fear on the battlefield. Whether you're laying waste to enemies with Sukuna's slashes, controlling the flow of battle with Limitless, or burning everything in sight with Disaster Flames, you're sure to leave your mark in Jujutsu Odyssey. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.